Everybody, this is Otto, the Mat Rat, and today I'm going to be going over what we should be doing with our feet when we're in a stance, where they should be, and how I should be moving them. So some of the basics of a wrestling stance, or just any good stance for getting takedowns in jiu-jitsu or grappling. Here we go, just some of the keys. So when I'm here, I don't want to just be standing straight up, obviously. There's a lot of judo guys, I'm not picking on judo guys, they do a lot of good stuff with their gis and their trips and their throws. But a lot of judo guys, when they get their grips, they stand straight up, right? And this is where they get stuck. They're trying to step and trip. And a lot of times, we can do that in jiu-jitsu too, where we'll get stuck there, hard to shoot in, etc. Anyway, so whenever I personally am grappling, I like to make sure that my knees are bent at least a little bit. So if I can just kind of almost bend my knees until my hands are kind of sitting on them, that's just about the perfect bend for me personally. You might like getting a little lower, or you might like being a little taller, depending on how tall you are. Anyway, I like to be, like, if I could put my hand right on my knees like I was resting here, this would be perfect. Now, obviously, if I'm in a match and I'm fighting someone, I don't want to be sitting here with my hands on my knees. I want them low or higher, depending on how the guy's coming at me and how I'm going to react to him. So again, knees bent just a little bit, and also, I like to stagger my feet. We can also have the square stance, where feet are in a straight line. This is, it's more tactical, depends what you like. For more of a hard-nosed grinder, a lot of them will come up here in the square stance and put their forehead on yours and just start pulling on your head. A lot of them like to do that. They can get more weight down that way, or at least that's what they think. Anyway, so square stance would be more of almost like a bully stance to me. That's what I think of it as. A lot of those bully, hard-nosed, aggressive wrestlers tend to be in a square stance. They pull and they look for those really quick shots where they pull on your head and get you in that front headlock. Now personally for me, I like to have my feet a little staggered, and it's more common to see people with a staggered stance. That way, what you're doing is taking away one of their options to shoot on. If I step far back with this leg, I don't care if he tries to shoot on this leg now, because it's going to take him too long to get here before I sprawl. So if he shoots on this back leg, it'll be easy for me to kick it away, push his head and sprawl down, go around him. So when I have that staggered stance, that leg's back, same thing. If he shoots here, it's really easy for me to kick it out of the way or to sprawl before he gets a good grip on it. And again, bend the knees a little bit, staggered stance. I'm here. I like my hands nice and low. I don't like people getting in on my legs. And if they do shoot, I like being able to jack them up with my underhooks and starting to get into their legs. So another thing, when I'm moving, I want to make sure my feet don't cross. I want to just be taking little steps. If I'm coming back, I don't want to cross. If I cross over, really easy to get picked here. Not to mention I'm just off balance. So never cross your feet. I'm here. I never want to step like this. I step like this, I'm way off balance, right? And obviously I don't want to step in front either. That just feels weird to do. So again, I've got a good stance. I don't want to cross my feet, and I like to take little steps. Not big steps where they can time me. If they see me stepping really big, they'll know when that foot's coming down, be easy for them to shoot on me. So little steps, I like to go back and forth. We can circle. I like to keep my hands low when I circle, and I can switch stances both ways. I notice a lot of coaches always tell you to be dominant hand, like if you're right-handed, they want you to lead with your right leg, because that's supposed to be your power leg and your power step. Personally, I don't think it matters. I think whatever you're comfortable with is the way you should go. Because in the end, if I get to higher levels of grappling, higher levels of wrestling, it's not going to matter, because I should be able to go both ways no matter what. If I only always lead with my left leg, I'm shutting down some offense. So I might only be able to shoot a high crotch on the right side here, or on the left side. Really, the problem is a lot of people get stuck with one stance, and that's the one they go with forever. So, to kind of wrap everything up here, usually you're going to want to have a split stance, not too far apart, probably about a foot apart, right? They really should just be my foot. If I slid my toe back to my heel, that's really how far I want it to be back. It doesn't need to be too far, as you can see. They're pretty much on the same line, just on opposite ends of it, right? You see this seam? I really want one foot on the edge of the seam and my heel on the other edge of the seam. And that's probably a pretty good split. You can step back a little bit more if you know this guy's fast and he likes to shoot on you. Might want to get a little more space there, just so you're ready to sprawl. So here I am, I've got my good split stance, in a good stance, hands low, ready to catch him if he shoots or stuff his head, and go around, right? And then again, one thing I like to practice, keeping my hands low, my neck up. I don't want my head too down here. It gets really easy to tug on my head. If we're doing jiu-jitsu, easy to choke me, right? So here we go, good stance. Like I said, I like to move my feet back and forth, and if I'm gonna switch, if I feel like I need to line up the other way with this guy, for whatever reason, I don't like the way his stance is, I'm gonna switch mine by keeping my hands low, and then coming up and stepping back. If I don't keep my hands low when I switch my stance, right here, he's gonna get me. Especially if he's a good wrestler, he's gonna see that leg come forward, he's gonna see the weight coming up as I go to switch my legs, and he's gonna be dropping down on that leg right away. So when we switch stances, make sure we protect our legs. Hands down as we switch, so we can catch him if he wants to try and shoot on us. Hands down, I'll switch, and I'm ready to give my fakes, ready to start working again. If you guys want to see a video about how to work your fake shots, how to work some weaves, some basic shot concepts, there'll be a video link right up here, you'll see it. And you guys can check that out too. All right, thank you everybody. This was a question from one of my followers. Can't remember the name right now, sorry bud, but yeah, you can go ahead and leave me more questions, comments. I love answering them. Thank you guys very much.